Hello ladies and gentlemen, Steven here from Redolessence and welcome back to another video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And in today's episode, I'm really excited to be shooting this video because I will be revealing everything you need to know about my brand. So make sure to stay tuned. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be discussing everything about my brand in this video, including the name of the brand, the concept of the brand, the logo and the rationale behind it, the price point, the availability, the notes, the names of the fragrances, so on and so forth. So this is the one video in which you will find all of the information regarding this brand. And of course, with that being said, I don't wish to take up any more of your time. And so the name of my brand will be Novice Parfum. So I went with a name like Novice because it's a Latin name, it's a Latin word, and it actually means a couple different things. So it means energy, but it also means passion. And it could also mean zeal, of course, which is synonymous with passion. Now, the reason I chose Novice is because with a name that means energy, we do have a certain energy that we feel and that we sense whenever we apply our favorite fragrance. It's the same sensation you get when you're wearing a nice suit or when you get a fresh haircut. It allows you to tackle any obstacle that you may encounter in your day, and it makes you feel energized, revitalized, rejuvenated, and it's such an amazing and mystifying experience that one experiences whenever they do wear a fragrance that really caters to your personal taste and it aligns with your sensibilities. But the word Novice also means passion because this is the reason why you're watching this video right now. We are all very passionate about fragrances. We are connoisseurs and aficionados of the art, and this is something that we hold in high regard. I know that for myself personally, fragrance is something that is very meaningful to me, something that I hold very near and dear to my heart, and something that resonates with me. I know it sounds a little cheesy to say, but on a spiritual level. And so I'm very passionate about fragrances. And the third reason why I went with the name Novice is because it also borrows from the root nauta, which means mariner or voyager. And certainly fragrances do take you on a voyage. And one thing that you'll notice about all of these fragrances is that they are non-linear, so that the way that they open up is going to be vastly different from the way that they dry down. And so whenever you do spray it on skin, and I would always recommend spraying it on skin as opposed to spraying it on a test strip or a blotter, you'll notice that all of these fragrances dry down into something quite different from the way that they opened up. And so I'm really proud of the non-linearity of these scents and the way that they were constructed by these three master perfumers, Bertrand Duchaufour, Christian Carbonell, and Jorge Lee. Now, I do want to take a moment to discuss the logo of the brand, and the logo, as you may have noticed, is an infinity symbol, but it's a fiery infinity symbol. So the fire represents the passion, which is also conveyed through the name, but it also represents the alchemical process through which these fragrances are created. The reason why I went with the infinity symbol is because these fragrances are infinitely mighty. These fragrances are infinite in the sense that they will commemorate the occasion, they will embed themselves into your memory, they will ingrain themselves into your mind and your thoughts. And I love the way that fragrances have this infinite potential and they're undying in that sense. And so the infinity symbol represents a few different things. It represents power, it represents self-fertilization. In the jewelry industry especially, it represents undying love. And these are all concepts that will be represented by each and every one of these fragrances, but you'll also notice that they cater to different emotions. So whether you're already feeling that emotion and you want to wear the fragrance that complements it, or you desire to experience that emotion, you can put on the fragrance that aligns with it, and it will put you in that state of mind. And we have also decided to call the brand Novice Parfum as opposed to Novice Fragrances or just simply Novice, because parfum is an homage to the French perfume making methods through which all of these fragrances have been created. So one of the things that is symbolized by the infinity symbol is perfection or completeness. And that's one of the reasons why I have decided to call the first fragrance Absolution. This is a gourmand creation by Bertrand Duchaufour, and you'll see that it comes in a red bottle because I do kind of pick up on a note of cherry, and I use my synesthesia to select the color of the bottle. This opens up with a very bright almond note. It also gives off this cherry vibe that I find really enticing and gourmand-esque, and it also dries down into like this apple toffee caramel vibe in the mid before settling into this base of ambergris, driftwood, and oak moss that really is grounding and meditative. Now, of course, Absolution also means acquittal or mercy, and so in a tug of war between intoxication and temperance, Absolution is the rope. At times it's gourmand, but it's not overly gourmand to the point that it becomes cloyingly sweet or difficult to wear. It's a nice balance between the gourmand ingredients, but also the woodsy and earthy and meditative ingredients. I'm really excited for you to try this one, and here's what a few of my friends had to say.
This is my type of fragrance, and
Is it?
absolutely. This is fantastic. Oh my god.
I like it because it's not very sweet. You know, when most of gourmand fragrances leaning to be sweet and reminding you either of desserts or anything like that. But this one is very nice and settled.
That's very rich and thick and deep. It's a real muscular fragrance. Wow, I'm really enjoying that.
So this is very full. It is very dense. It smells like it would definitely carry in a room full of people. This has body, this has depth, this has complexity, this has personality and statement.
So the next fragrance in the collection is also by Bertrand Duchaufour, and another thing that is being symbolized by the infinity symbol is power or strength, and that's why this next fragrance is going to be called Virtus. Now, Virtus means power, and it also means strength, but it's also one thing that is conveyed through the various strong notes that are being utilized in this composition. Now, there's a lot of tobacco in here. There's beeswax absolute, there's honey, which kind of gives it a gourmand vibe, but not entirely so. I still do feel as though the woodsy elements and the tobacco nuances take center stage in this composition, but there's a very subtle and intoxicating creaminess about it because of the inclusion of notes like fig milk and also mango. This is a really interesting composition, and of course, I do want you to be the judge. I don't want you to take my word for it. I would like for you to go out there and give it a sample for yourself, and of course, the information will be down below if you wish to visit the e-commerce website. Here's what a few of my fellow fragrance enthusiasts had to say.
So this is that tobacco one.
Yeah, tobacco and honey.
This is tobacco and honey. Oh, I love this one. This is probably one of my favorites, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
My mind might change after I smell them again, but
Sure,
this
of
is
course.
definitely a standout for my personal taste and my style, and I think my audience.
I like it.
Okay, cool.
Very nice. Beautiful. Tobacco, absolutely. Tobacco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
This
a tobacco
is
dominant
screaming tobacco.
style. Awesome.
Beautiful.
Ooh. Creamy, very creamy. It's for me, it's like a woody, creamy, slightly sweet, very sexy. Again, totally, you can smell it's a totally unisex sort of fragrance, and again, I'm wow, I absolutely love this. For me, that is fantastic. Oh my god!
Oh, I'm glad, Demi.
These fragrances.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's amazing.
I hope that I can take these home.
I get a little bit of coconut from that. A little fruity, it's like a tropical, exotic type of smell. So it's but sweet again. Definitely has a little bit of a gourmand thing going on. That's great.
So the third fragrance in the collection is composed by Jorge Lee, and I really appreciate and admire his creativeness and his expertise, especially when it comes to the fragrances that he's made for several other brands. Now, another thing that is being symbolized by the infinity symbol is this concept of reincarnation or self-fertilization and just a state of being very plain and simple. And so this one is called Primas. Primas means the beginning, but it also represents leadership. And this is the type of fragrance that you would wear whenever you're ready to accomplish anything that your day throws in front of you. This is a very bright, fresh, and invigorating blend of different citrus ingredients, but there's also this fruity nuance of mango. Now, because of the concept of self-fertilization, I always had the image of a phoenix in my mind. And so obviously, in order for a phoenix to be reborn, it must first die, of course. And so you do have this earthy element that lingers underneath in this base. And you have this soil nuance, but it's not overly soily or dirty in the literal sense. It's more woodsy and contemporary. And I feel like it's a nice dichotomy and it's a nice balance of the bright, fresh, citrusy and fruity notes that are going on at the top of this creation. This is one that I can see myself wearing quite often. It's probably one of the most versatile fragrances in this entire collection. And this one is also available in a 100 milliliter size. And here's what a few of my friends had to say.
Okay, so this is definitely more fresh. Definitely, obviously, way more fresh. Some bergamot maybe, some very citrus, a little bit of a woodiness, but still, you can smell the fragrance is top notch quality 100%. But I'm saying what I personally like. This is more masculine and definitely fresh, like 100%.
Wow, that's invigorating. Definitely some citruses. Yeah, very bright. A nice kind of green, juicy bergamot. That would be a great summer scent. Lively, good fun. Cool. Refreshing, invigorating. That would be a great summer scent to wear. This, I think, out of all of them so far, will be a great seller, I think, because it's the most versatile and kind of mass appealing in that masculine way. That's good. You know what? It's the new favourite.
So the next two fragrances in this collection were composed by Christian Carbonell, and these are both oud-based offerings. They both contain natural oud, and there's actually a natural oud blend in the base of these fragrances. One of them is a bit more expensive because it utilizes real Turkish rose, and it's actually a combination of different rose ingredients. But the next one on this list is called Ode Imperium. Imperium means command, and so you'll see that this is a very powerful oud-based offering. There's a note of apple in there. There are some spicy nuances. There's a general sweetness about it, but I would be very hesitant to classify this as a gourmand. This is a very powerful and easy to wear oud-based offering, and I wasn't necessarily going for a fresh take on oud, but this is a very accommodating oud-based offering, all the while still being able to perceive the oud in the base without it being overly animalic. Here's what my good friend Carlos had to say about this one.
But it's definitely oud, and it's attractive. It's Laotian oud?
Yeah, believe it or not.
Imagine, no, you're lying.
I swear to you. I swear to you.
Oh!
Yeah, so it's actually a natural oud blend, but there is Laotian oud in there. That's really interesting.
I think it's a nice oud. It's an oud that I would wear.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so.
Now, I should also mention that for this fragrance, along with the one that I'm about to announce, these are going to be available in a 50 milliliter size as opposed to a 100 milliliter size. And the reason for that is because the price of the raw materials is a little bit more expensive than the other fragrances in the collection. And so naturally, it costs a little bit more to produce these fragrances. However, it will still be available for the same price, the same exact concentration. But for these two fragrances, the 250 milliliter sizes, they will be available in a smaller size as opposed to the others in the collection, which will be 100 milliliters. The next fragrance in this collection is called Ode Luxuria, and of course luxuria comes from the word luxury, but the word luxury originally meant lust. And there's also an animalic component to this fragrance, and it definitely awakens your carnality, and it has this visceral component about it that is really interesting, and it's hard to describe. This one definitely has Turkish rose in it. It opens up very bright and vivacious, but it also dries down to this natural oud blend, and so it's a nice combination of the floral ingredients. It's a little bit spicy. You have a hint of citrus in the opening, but nothing that's overly powerful or that takes center stage. It really is about the rose and the agarwood that's used in here, but it's a fragrance different enough from other oud rose offerings on the market, and so this is one that I'm also excited for you to get your nose on and to come back to me and let me know what you think of it. So here's what a couple of my friends had to say regarding Ode Luxuria.
Made a bad one, Steve. That is... Wow, that's wonderful. That's really intoxicating. So, oudi, smoky, very kind of Middle Eastern feeling. That is more complex and a little more daring, but that is a bold, empowering, confidence-inspiring scent.
The second to last fragrance is also composed by Christian Carbonell, and this one is going to be called Navus. Now, just like the name of the brand Navitus, it does mean energy, and this is the most energizing composition that you will find in this collection. So this definitely opens up very bright and fresh and citrusy. You have a combination of different citrus ingredients in the opening. You have the neroli, you have the orange, the bergamot, the grapefruit. It's a little tart, but you also have that freshness that sustains itself into the mid in the dry down of the fragrance on account of notes like mint and vetiver. I know mint isn't listed in the note breakdown, but I have spoken to the perfumer, or I have had correspondence with the perfumer, and he did mention that mint is a note in this fragrance, and you will inevitably be able to notice it as well. This fragrance will also be an exclusive fragrance to Oswald. That is the only store that will carry this fragrance, and if you do wish to go and sample it in person, or maybe perhaps purchase a sample of it, Oswald will be the only store that will be able to carry this fragrance in the future. Now here's what some of my friends had to say about Novice.
Very nice. For those who are following my channel, they already know that I'm a huge lover of vetiver.
Okay.
So this one is, I think, a winner for me
Oh,
so
awesome.
far. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It's very fresh, citrusy, vetiver. Beautiful.
Okay, again, fresh. It's got a greenness. There's definite greenness to this scent. I definitely like this, and I would wear this one myself. There's a bit of a bitter, like there's a bitter sort of bitterness to the fragrance. Hey, this is a fresh fragrance that I would love. I like my citruses to be quite crisp, a little bit bitter on the bitter side. I don't like anything. This is for me. Like, this is a citrus that I would 100% wear and love.
Amazing.
Straight away. This is fantastic, and this is one that I feel like, for me, because it's funny, like in day-to-day wear in Australia, I usually go for fragrances like this, which is
Oh,
quite
do you?
yeah, because
Nice.
it's hot, and
Yeah.
I don't have a very life where I'm going out to parties and events and all the, where you need like a big boisterous sort of fragrance.
Sure,
so for
sure.
me, this is something that I would take with me, wear it, and yeah, it's perfect for me, somebody like me, 100%. Yeah, I really enjoy this fragrance a lot.
And one of the final things symbolized by the infinity symbol is this concept of undying love, and that's why the last fragrance in this collection, also by Christian Carbonell, will be called Intimus. Now, Intimus is obviously still a Latin word, and it translates to intimate, and this is a very romantic, sensual, and intimate composition. It opens up with this vanilla and toasted sugar accord. It also has a little bit of geranium in there and a little bit of apple as well. It's fruity, it's a little minty on account of the geranium. It really just awakens your senses, and it's one that is so easy to wear, so romantic. I also find it to be incredibly versatile, so you can wear this one any time of the year, any occasion as well, and especially for a niche-based offering, it is very affordably priced for 25% concentration in a 100 milliliter size with a really ornate presentation. Here's what a few of my friends had to say regarding Intimus.
Yep, totally love this fragrance. Steven sprayed it on my hand and I was totally blown away. So I'm just gonna put it out there. I will 100% purchase so far these two, this fragrance with my own money.
God, thank you.
No, absolutely. I want to support you because I can see how much time and money and everything has gone into these fragrances. You can smell it 100%.
Thank
No
you, Brandon.
corners.
That really means a lot to me. Thank
No
you for
corners have
supporting,
been cut. It's 100% your passion, and you can smell it in the fragrances. I love this so much.
Okay.
I think it's very sexy. Like,
Okay.
if I smell this on a guy, very, very, very sexy fragrance.
Okay, cool.
For me. This is like addictive. It's got an addictive twist to it. But well, definitely, this is probably for me the sexiest that I've smelled so far. Like, sexy wise, 100%.
Oh my god. Okay. As of now, this is my winner.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm saying this right, but I do smell kind of like a caramelish vibe. I love it. It's beautiful.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. It's delicious. You want to smell the person who you are dating, and they're delicious,
That's amazing. Cool.
Beautiful.
Wow. Yeah. Again, the quality from these perfumers and from your experience as well, I guess no one's expecting anything other than high quality. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Quite difficult to it's very smooth. It's difficult to pick individual things.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to. If they come to me, I'll mention them. But it's really, yeah, I like that.
Now, in terms of the price, I know I mentioned in previous videos that I definitely wanted to keep the price under $200, which I certainly will. And I think that for a product that's 100 milliliters, it has a very elaborate presentation. You can see in the presentation that for the 100 milliliter bottles, it will have a drawer style presentation, gold foil lettering. It sits on a bed of silk. It also comes with a sleeve, and there's a card on the inside that gives credit to the perfumer. It also gives a little rationale on the fragrance, as well as providing you with a full-length note breakdown. If you do wish to purchase a 50 milliliter size, you'll see that the box actually opens from the top, and there's also a bed of silk on the inside in which the bottle rests. Very sturdy and ornate presentation. That does cost quite a bit of money, but also most of the money went into the actual juice that is found within these fragrances, because as I mentioned earlier, it is a nice balance of natural and synthetic ingredients, and the perfumers were given a very high budget to work with. Now, I have sat down with a few people who were consultants on the matter, and they've all told me that I shouldn't sell the fragrances in a 100 milliliter size, that I should go down to a 75 ml or a 50 ml, and that I should charge twice as much. I don't want to do that. I want to give my subscribers the best possible price for these fragrances. Yes, I know it's niche quality. Yes, I know it's on the same quality as several other fragrances that are already on the market, but I don't want to charge $300, $400, because that will effectively make these fragrances very hard to sample and very hard to get a hold of. I don't wish to exclude anybody, and this is why my fragrances will be priced at $195. Now, for the initial launch, I do plan on giving a significant discount to my subscribers, and it will be a discount that will stack the more bottles that you choose to purchase. Now, obviously, I'm not here encouraging anybody to go out there and purchase all of my fragrances. Some of you said you would, and I think you're crazy for that, but I really do appreciate the support. But for every bottle that you wish to purchase, the discount will go up. And so if you want to purchase one bottle, it'll be a 10% discount. The second bottle, it will be a 12.5% discount. Third bottle, 15% discount. So on and so forth, and the discount can even go as high as 25%. And so I'm just putting that out there in case you are interested, but inevitably $195. You see that for other fragrances on the market, the 50 milliliter size will sell for like $300. And so you'll notice that they're making much more of a profit on those fragrances, and we're essentially losing that profit. But we do want to create a product that is affordable, that is niche on every level: the juice, the presentation, the name, the concept, the availability, the marketing, so on and so forth. And we really hope that you have an opportunity to go out there and sample these fragrances. Which brings me to my next point, which is the pre-sale period. So these fragrances are currently on pre-sale. The pre-sale has started now, and so the website is down below if you wish to go check it out. And for the pre-sale, it will only be available for 11 days. We do have limited stock, and so the pre-sale might actually end before the 11 days are up, but we want to make these fragrances available and at a discount for those early birds, so to speak. And so if you do wish to get your nose on these fragrances before anybody else, and you want to be one of the ones to have the first batch, I will never reformulate these fragrances, but if you do want to be among the first people to purchase these fragrances and you want to purchase from the first batch, now is obviously the best time to do so, and the best prices that you will also be able to find on these fragrances, because down the line, when they are available in certain stores and you can purchase them from other e-commerce websites, they will be a higher price, or I should say they will be $195, which is the highest that I'll go. I don't have any plans to go above that $200 mark, despite the fact that these are niche creations. And in terms of the shipping, one question that I have received from a lot of my subscribers is, will I be shipping these fragrances on an international level? And of course, the answer to that is yes. We have been working tirelessly to source the MSDS paperwork as well as the Declaration of Dangerous Goods. These fragrances will be available in over 80 countries. And if for some reason you are on the website and you are in the checkout and you don't see your country listed, please go ahead and send us an email through the Contact Us section of the website. This way, somebody will reply to you in 24 to 48 hours and let you know if we will make a special exemption for your country. So even though your country might not be listed, we might still be able to ship the product to your country. So just make sure to ask. But for the most part, there shouldn't be an issue. We are shipping to over 80 countries internationally, and I'm really hoping that you have an opportunity to get your nose on at least one of these creations. And another thing that I wanted to mention is that although the pre-sale period has officially started and it's going to be on for 11 days, the orders will begin to be fulfilled in the beginning of December. That is when we will receive all of the bottles and the products here in the United States, and our fulfillment center will start to send these products out to you no matter where in the world you are when you ordered these fragrances. So it will be made in time for the holiday season, just in case you wish to purchase a fragrance for yourself or a significant other or a loved one. Of course, at the moment, we are accepting PayPal and any major credit card. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this video, supporting me on this endeavor, and for the past 7+ years that I've been making these videos here on YouTube and everything that I've done behind the scenes. I want to thank you so much for constantly being there for me, supporting me. Obviously, you can tell that this has been a very passionate endeavor of mine. It has been a labor of love. There hasn't been a single moment when I said, man, I have to do something for this brand, and I thought to myself, this is going to be tiresome or laborious. I always thought of it as, I'm so excited to work on this brand. I'm so excited to write this description or come up with this image or edit this sort of image in Photoshop. And as you can tell, when you go on the website, a lot of the things were done by me. A lot of the images that were taken or the descriptions that are written on the fragrances were done by me. And even the things that weren't done by me and they were done by a design team, I inevitably had to shortlist it. And so all of this has been my creative process, and I want to thank you so much for supporting me in this endeavor. I sincerely can't thank you enough. I could thank you a million times and it still won't be enough. Thank you so much for everything you have done for me, all the support you have given to me. I sincerely love you guys, and I hope you enjoy Novice Parfum. We'll see you in the next episode.